We're going to start on the fear section of the inventory, four-step inventory. It's on page 24 of our guidebook. We're going to make our fear list. And Karen, will you read page 67 through 68, starting with fear? Notice the word fear.
Fear. This short word somehow touches about every aspect of our lives. It was an evil and corroding thread. The fabric of our existence was shot through with it. It set in motion trains of circumstances which brought us misfortune we felt we didn't deserve. But did not we ourselves set the ball rolling? Sometimes we think fear ought to be classed with stealing. It seems to cause more trouble. We reviewed our fears thoroughly. We put them on paper, even though we had no resentment in connection with them. We asked ourselves why we had them. Wasn't it because self-reliance failed us? Self-reliance was good as far as it went, but it didn't go far enough. Some of us once had great self-confidence, but it didn't fully solve the fear problem or any other. When it made us cocky, it was worse. Perhaps there is a better way. We think so, for we are now on a different basis, the basis of trusting and relying upon God. We trust infinite God rather than our finite selves. We are in the world to play the role He assigns. Just to the extent that we do as we think He would have us and humbly rely on Him, does He enable us to match calamity with serenity. We never apologize to anyone for depending upon our Creator. We can laugh at those who think spirituality the way of weakness. Paradoxically, it is the way of strength. The verdict of the ages is that faith means courage. All men of faith have courage. They trust their God. We never apologize for God. Instead, we let Him demonstrate through us what He can do. We ask Him to remove our fear and direct our attention to what He would have us be. At once, we commence to outgrow fear.
Fear. It was an evil and corroding thread. The fabric of our existence was shot through with it. I'm reading out of our guide on page 24. We trust infinite God rather than finite selves. We asked Him to remove our fear and direct our attention to what He would have us be. It says that we listed our fears. I listed 3 fears up here. Snakes, rejection, and the government. That kind of covers everything, the way I see it. And those aren't all mine. I got those from you guys, okay? So just so everybody knows. Why do I have them? Well, because snakes are sneaky, and they're also poison. And rejection hurts me, hurts my self-esteem, and the government hurts my pocketbook and my freedom. Is that what you said, JR?
Sure. I'm just scared of what they're going to do. I can't.
Okay, so they're sneaky too. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. We got 3 sneaky things up here. We don't have women up there yet, though. Okay, so anyway, okay. Did I say that? I didn't say that. Okay. Just couldn't help it. All right, so here's what I suggest. We ask ourselves why we had them. And then the book immediately says, wasn't it because self-reliance had failed us? Now, what does that mean? I'm relying on myself to keep track of where all the... It is true that some snakes are poisonous. They are dangerous. But the problem is I don't know where they're all at. But let's say that I'm walking along and there's a snake, and I've got this intuitive sixth sense working in me now. And my higher power says, Dennis, look right there. And I say, oh, there's a snake. Where if I didn't have, see, I come to rely on it. In a very practical way, I come to rely on that I'm going to see what I need to see before it hurts me in a way that my higher power doesn't want me to be hurt. Rejection hurts my self-esteem. The question is, why do I have this? Well, it hurts my self-esteem. Wasn't it because self-reliance failed me? Well, what am I relying on myself there? Well, I'm relying on myself to keep all you guys in line to not reject me so that I don't get hurt. That's me trying to do my act, to be a good enough guy at my act, to keep all you guys where I need you to be and being nice to me, so not rejecting me. And then if I look at the government and I ask myself, why am I afraid? And I say, well, because they're sneaky and they got all this power and control over me. Then I ask myself, what is my self-reliance in that respect? Well, my self-reliance is the same thing. It's like, I'm afraid that I'm not going to have what I need when I need it in order to deal with whatever those guys come up with next. That's a pretty real thing. So the solution to all of it is to know that I'm going to have what I need when I need it to deal with every minute of my life as it comes up. And that's where the AA people get this idea of one day at a time. It isn't today, and it sounds like a way of just avoiding life, but actually, I'm going to have what I need when I need it. That's what it's all about. So the self-reliance is reliant on myself and my ability to be an actor in the following areas: my self-esteem, my security, my finances, my personal relations, my sex relations, and my ambitions. Does that sound familiar? It's the same list that I think anyway. That's kind of what I've come up with. It refers me back to the list on the resentment inventory. I'm looking to see where Dennis is trying to make sure Dennis has complete control of his self-esteem and his safety, and it's over my head. I'm relying on my five senses and my ego. This self is the ego self, dependent on itself to be able to keep track of all the snakes, all the people that might reject me, and keep them in line, and the government. It's a tall order. So then what's the solution? It's a good theory anyway, huh? It's the solution is the spiritual awakening. The spiritual awakening, the vital sixth sense. The intuitive thought, this thing that we're trying to develop by going through this. The fourth step, we don't necessarily have the vital sense all of a sudden just come on and be active in a way that's real to us, but it's at least where we consider that would be the solution. That would be the solution. So what we do at the end of the inventory, on the fear inventory, what's that last statement that we read there, Karen? We asked him to remove our fear and direct our attention to what he would have us be. At once, we commenced to outgrow fear. So it's a process of outgrowing it. It's a process of starting to depend on it. I'm going to know where the snake is when I need to know where the snake is. I'm going to have what I need when I need it to deal with whatever these people come up with next, whether it's the government or somebody rejected me or whatever it is. It's going to be there when I need it. It's a crazy kind of faith. I've heard one AA member that I was friends with, she said it's like we're fools for God. We just act like we're going to have what we need when we need it. Now, this is just the inventory. This isn't the whole thing, but it's where we at least take a look at it and toy with the possibility that the solution to fear is the spiritual awakening.